Hello and welcome. My name's Kendra, and I'm here to guide you through an embodiment practice that I call the PIES check-in. And we're going to check in physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. PIES. And so in this check-in, our goal is to get a deeper understanding and connection with ourselves. So join me as we begin. All right, so first close your eyes and we're going to check in physically. Here we are really slowing down and learning how to attune to our physical body. We're learning how to listen to our own wisdom coming from within. So I like to do a body scan using my breath, and I imagine my breath coming in through my toes, breathing in all the way through my body up to the top of my head. And as my breath is flowing along through my body, I'm scanning myself to see, where am I carrying my stress? Where am I holding on to negative energy? What is my body trying to tell me right now? How am I feeling? And what do I notice? Sometimes we feel tension or tightness. Sometimes it's a heaviness, or it could be a fluttery feeling. And when you find a good place to focus your attention, you notice somewhere you're carrying some stress, then on the next breath, I want you to breathe right into that place and start to invite in spaciousness. Start to invite in the warmth of your breath, this positive energy. And as you do that, get this feeling of your body starting to open up on the inside. As we invite in space, we start to feel this expansion of our insides, and we start to feel the relaxing of our muscles, the letting go of what we're holding on to. And our stress starts to melt a little bit with each breath. We feel that negative energy starting to integrate and be absorbed into the flow, the energy of our breath, the warmth and the space that we're creating. Very good. And the last two breaths, we're going to just do a little practice of vibrating our vagus nerve. This helps us to feel safe. It brings us out of our sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight, and brings us into that vagus nerve that helps us feel connected to ourselves and safer in this moment. So we're going to breathe in and then make some noise on our exhale. Feel that vibration. Very good. And also humming works if you need to be a little quieter. Has the same effect of that vibration. Okay, very good. Now we're going to move into checking in intellectually and emotionally. So it's really just our thoughts and feelings. And here the purpose is to practice the process of separating ourself from these parts of us that show up. We learn that we are separate from our thoughts. We can be separate from our emotions. We don't have to let them take over or overwhelm us. So with our thoughts, I want you just to start to reflect on the last couple days or the last week and start to notice what thoughts have been taking up space in my mind. What thoughts have I been giving all my attention to and pouring my energy into these ruminating thoughts? What starts to come up into my awareness? You can notice what you think around certain people or certain situations. And we're going to start to get curious about these thoughts and notice if there's any patterns. Oh, around this person, I always think this thought. Oh, when I get into this situation, I hear this thought. We're going to start to separate ourselves from our thoughts and notice the familiarity, notice the patterns, notice the belief systems that come into play. And we're just going to wonder and get curious, and we're not going to judge the thoughts that are there. And in this way, we get to decide if we want to let go of some of these thoughts that aren't serving us, or if we're curious and we want to dive in and learn more about where these thoughts are coming from. And we get to make that choice. And this is how we learn to be separate from our thoughts. Okay, now I want you to, instead of being in your head, we're going to sink down into our heart, down into our body where we feel our feelings. And here I want you to check in with what emotions are coming up for you. What emotions have you noticed over the last week or so? How have you been feeling? Did you have any big reactions or responses to certain people or certain situations? Or maybe there's just an underlying feeling hanging out right under the surface. Or maybe you don't feel anything at all, and that's feeling a numbness or a disconnect from yourself. That's a feeling too. So as we're getting curious and noticing our feelings, we can separate ourselves from them. We can start to get curious and ask questions. Where is that feeling coming from? What's the story behind that feeling? And what's the need underneath? All of these feelings we have, they make sense. They're coming from somewhere, and there's usually a need underneath. So as we separate, we find compassion for ourselves. We just want to lean in and understand better why we're feeling the way we feel and how we can better support ourselves through this process. Very good. Okay, and now we're going to move into the spiritual check-in. And here we get to practice receiving love from the universe, from our higher power, from our creator. There's a source of love and light that exists in abundance all around us. It's bigger than us, it's outside of us, and it's all around in this universe. And so we're going to practice and see how our spiritual connection is doing today by imagining our heart. And then there's a door to our heart. And we're going to open up that door nice and gently, opening up the door. And now we're going to breathe in all of that love and light and warmth, that unconditional love of our creator, of our higher power. Breathing it, using your breath to invite it right inside that door into your heart. Let the warmth and the light fill you up on the inside. We often need to surrender to the love. We want to give ourselves permission in this moment to receive and be loved. It's okay to be loved. We deserve to be loved. And we are worthy of this beautiful love that we can trust, that exists all around us all the time. So just melt into that embrace. Allow yourself to be filled in this moment. One more breath like that. Very good. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back. Hey. And now I invite you to go back through your check-in and take some notes and reflect on how that process was for you. What did you notice when you checked in with your physical body? What did you notice about your thoughts and your feelings? And then how was your spiritual connection today? How easy or difficult was it to be loved in this moment? Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you again soon. Take care.